Hello, everyone. This is Jeffery Giesener from the Jewish Culture and Holocaust 10-7 Remembrance Community and the One Revolution. I am really excited to present today's on-demand program, Demi Friedman, The Proteges. It's an hour-long concert from Debbie's proteges of all ages. And I hope you spend time and enjoy the music of Debbie Friedman.
But It was the late 60s, and the soundtrack of our lives had begun to change. Our young people were responding to a new generation of artists who were singing a creative blend of poetry, folk music, spiritual, and political messages. Among the most avid listeners was a young Jewish girl in Minneapolis, St. Paul, named Debbie Friedman. Quiet, unassuming, and perhaps the most unlikely to become a cultural icon, Debbie began to fuse her passion for the new music and her love of Judaism. And the result was a musical phenomenon whose impact is felt to this day, and at this very biennial. We all began to see the world through her eyes, through her words, through her music, and through her passion. Suddenly, prayer became music, and her music became inspiration for a new generation. Her music had crossed generational lines, sects of Judaism, and date lines. From children's songs to congregational liturgy, from school choirs to cantorial standards, from song leading at URJ camps to selling out Carnegie Hall. From 8-track tapes to iPods, Debbie Friedman is a pioneer whose themes have become so much a part of our lives that we sometimes lose sight of where it all began. Through the years, her music has sparked a resurgence of gifted artists who share their message of prayer through song, and has sparked a renewed spirit among young Jews looking for their place in our worldwide Jewish community. Who could have predicted that she would create the soundtrack of our lives?
Sing unto God, sing a new song, oh, sing praises to God, give thanks to Him with a song.
I had a copy of Sing Unto God, which was her first album, that she gave me on tape before it was ever pressed. And I sat down at camp one summer day with a group of rabbis, a small group of rabbis, and played it. And they looked at me and said, "It's very nice, but this is not what we understand, what we do, or what will happen in our synagogues." On the other hand, song leaders and the kids were ecstatic and taken by it and captivated and made of it their own in no time at all.
Today's the day we take our stand, the future's ours to hold.
Debbie was one of the first individuals to combine Hebrew and English words in the same text. Think of Lechi Lach, to a place that I will show you. Or the Mishaberach with words in Hebrew and English. The English tells you exactly what the song is about, what the prayer is about, even if you don't understand the Hebrew. And she was able to get us feel comfortable singing Hebrew words because she gave us the English language spiritual overlay, which can be translated into any language. It was a very creative spin. And frankly, Debbie reintroduced English into the American Reform vocabulary in the 1970s after it had been totally banished. By creating a whole new genre of Jewish music, Debbie was able to reintroduce authentic spirituality, Jewish spirituality, into our camping system. I don't know if that was her intention, but that was the result of what her music did. And so she wrote melodies that spoke to us, spoke to our intellect, and spoke to our emotions.
She changed the nature and focus and direction of what song leading is, and that she was able to turn worship and prayer into music that everybody was involved in and that everybody found to be responsive to their hearts.
I am so grateful for the path that you have forged and allowed so many of us to follow. And just as the women followed Miriam, so many of us women have followed you, and whether you planned it or not, we are here because of what you have done with your career.
and she's inspired multiple generations now of song leaders and people in the Jewish music field to realize that there are no boundaries, that it's all about inspiration and making people feel happy.
See the world to stand among the trees and all the living things.
I think one of the coolest things about Debbie Friedman is that it's not what she did, it's what she's still doing. She is so relevant and so amazing and still writing such amazing songs and being such a present-day influence on everyone around her.
I would say Debbie Friedman has carved a very powerful legacy in the Jewish world because she took all the energies of the folk music that preceded it and turned it into something that directly related to Jewishness. I don't think anybody else has done that, and she's done it brilliantly.
And it has moved from that single moment of rethinking Jewish music to rethinking Jewish life, using Jewish music. And that's been because Debbie Friedman has persisted in not just creating, but challenging each of us to be different and think differently and sing differently and worship differently and become transformed using the music.
Shall dream dreams, and the youth shall see vision, and our hopes shall rise up to live for today and build for tomorrow.
Debbie Friedman is an extraordinary treasure of our movement and a person of great influence, something we sometimes forget. 20 or 30 years ago, American Jews, like most Americans, had forgotten how to sing. Debbie reminded us how to sing. She taught us how to sing. She gave us the vehicles that enabled us to sing. And then she impacted our youth in our camps, and ultimately from there, she impacted our synagogues. What happens in the synagogues of Reform Judaism today, those voices of song are in large measure due to the insight and to the brilliance and to the influence of Debbie Friedman.
One day, a melody came to me on a bus ride. I did not know at that time that I would be able to write lyrics, so I set the music to the V'ahavta, Thou Shalt Love.
And thou shalt love the Lord thy God.
And 2 weeks later, I taught it to a group of teenagers who helped me to realize that singing contemporary melodies was one way in which people would be able to connect to a tradition from which many had been alienated.
And all these words which I command you.
When I saw the effects of this music upon liturgy and then upon those who sang it, I realized that writing liturgical music was to be my passion.
And thou shalt teach them.
I feel that I have been blessed with a gift to create this music. I do not take ownership because I do not feel that it is mine. I am totally committed to working to reach as many people as I can through this music and through the liturgy, that we might perpetuate our Jewish values and our Jewish heritage. People are an inspiration to me and for me. It is because of people that I write. I am often moved by them and what they choose to do in their lives. I am moved by losses and by newfound hopes and ideals. No matter what it is that moves me, there is a connection between being touched and the awareness that there is a presence, a power greater than ourselves, with whom I am able to connect more deeply, through music and through liturgy. And this is something I wish to share with any and all who choose to share it with me.
That ye may remember and do all of my commandments and be holy unto your God, unto your God, unto your God. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long.
And Miriam was a weaver of unique variety. The tapestry she wove was one which sang our history. With every strand and every thread she crafted her delight. A woman touched with spirit, she dances towards the light.
And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long.
When Miriam stood upon the shores and gazed across the sea, the wonder of this miracle she soon came to believe. Whoever thought the sea would part with an outstretched hand, and we would pass to freedom, march to the promised land.
And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long.
When Miriam the prophet took her timbrel in her hand, and all the women followed her just as she had planned. And Miriam raised her voice in song, she sang with praise and might. We've just lived through a miracle, we're going to dance tonight.
And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. Make of us a house for all people. Gather us in hope for all people. Surround us in peace for all people. In a wholeness and in love. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. 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 Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael. Bechol eitu bechol shah bishlomecha. Bishlomecha. Make of us a house for all people. Gather us in a home for all people. Surround us in peace for all people. In a wholeness and in love. Make of us a house for all people. Gather us in a hope for all. Surround us in peace for all people. In a wholeness and in love. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
1, 2, 3. אלוהי נצור לשוני מרע ושפתי מדבר מרמה ולנקר אליי נפשי תדום ונפשי כעפר לכל תהיה אלוהי אלוהי נצור לשוני מרע ושפתי מדבר מרמה ולנקר אליי נפשי תדום ונפשי כעפר לכל תהיה אלוהי אלוהי נצור לשוני מרע, ושפתי מדבר מרמה. ולנקר אליי נפשי תדום, ונפשי כעפר לכל תהיה אלוהי, אלוהי. ושפתי מדבר מרמה, ולנקר אליי נפשי תדום, ונפשי כעפר לכל תהיה אלוהי, אלוהי. אלוהי נצור לשוני מרע, ושפתי מדבר מרמה, ולנקר אליי נפשי תדום, ונפשי כעפר לכל תהיה אלוהי, אלוהי. יהיו לרצון אמריתי, מהגיון ליבי לפניך, אדוני, אדוני, אדוני צורי, אדוני צורי, אלוהי.
Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharit, Malachei Hayom, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi
to celebrating the life and legacy of Debbie Friedman, an evening of conversation and storytelling. I'm Bud Mitshkin. For so many of us, music made being Jewish joyous. Debbie Friedman stands at the front of contemporary Jewish musicians in the country, all with a significant connection to Debbie Friedman. Peri Smilow, my wife, Julie Silver, Elana Arian, and Josh Nelson. Welcome all. The subject is a celebration of Debbie Friedman. So for all of you, and Peri, we'll start with you, can you recall the first time you started to hear the music of Debbie Friedman?
You bet. I was a song leader in junior high school, and I played the guitar, and I was listening to Carole King and James Taylor, and suddenly there was this woman who was singing in Hebrew and English, this stuff that made my youth group life amazing, and I wanted to be just like her.
Julie, how about for you? A first time that you heard the music, and then eventually a first time when you met her?
I was very, very young. I was at Camp Pembroke in Pembroke, Massachusetts, and I remember being really freaked out as a camper and hearing these women song leaders play Sing Unto God. It might have been 1976, and it put me at ease and gave me a lot of comfort on that first summer that my parents basically slowed down the car to drop me off at camp.
How so? You say comfort, how so?
Well, first of all, seeing women playing guitars, and her melodies are soothing, inherently healing, so relatable that they hit you immediately, not like perhaps something that takes a little bit longer to absorb and maybe more focus and attention. She got us all. It's like the folks. We wanted it. Didn't even know we wanted it. So here we are singing together. And boy, did it, bring down everything.
Josh, for you, is there a first time when you start to hear this music? In a childhood, I would imagine you're hearing all sorts of music.
Actually, it's a bit of an embarrassing story because I got in a lot of trouble. There's no relationship to the Debbie song why I got in trouble, but the first time I heard a Debbie song, I did get in trouble. I was in first grade in Hebrew school in a very conservative synagogue in southeastern Massachusetts with a very small, lovely woman. I believe her name was Mrs. Picard. She was probably about 4'3", and she had been teaching at this Hebrew school for 30 years. I mean, like, she was an institution. So I was sitting on a little table, like a little kindergarten first, and I was swinging my legs, and we were all learning Debbie's Aleph Bet, although I did not know that's what it was at the time. And the school had the synagogue had a really wide variety of people in it from a lot of Jewish backgrounds. So I learned it as Samechayin Pefe, Tzadi Kuf Reis, Shin, Sin, Tav, and Sav. And I really was sure that was how it was written. And she was walking by and she said, "Now you, Josh." And without realizing, I was swinging my legs on the table. I cracked this woman right in the kneecap. And she fell. And the class continued to sing, unaware that she had fallen. And I have this moment of Debbie's Aleph Bet singing. My teacher now, in my 6-year-old mind, completely crippled on the ground. And the future of my life absolutely over.
So what you're saying essentially is that her music induced you to commit bodily harm.
No, but I do think it was bad. I mean, look, kicking the teacher aside, which is my favorite part of the story, I do think it was amazing that in an environment that was pretty Judaically closed off and in its own little bubble, that even there at that time, her music had permeated. They had no idea from where it had come. They didn't know who had written it or what that person stood for, but they knew that it worked and it was powerful and it passed on Jewish learning and messaging in a way that was really tangible. So it's extraordinary to recall.
Now, Elana, you grew up in a situation where your mom and dad, Mary and Rami Arian, your mom's very close to Debbie through the years, and your mom and dad are song leaders, through the years. So I'm imagining you hear a lot of Debbie Friedman music growing up just in the house. Is that true?
Yeah, you're imagining correctly. When you asked that question, I was thinking, I don't know if I remember a time in my life that I didn't know Debbie's music. I mean, from the time that I was aware of music, it was present, and I feel really grateful for that. I think one of my earliest memories is of being affectionately called a fac brat at URJ Kutz Camp in Warwick, New York. And I would, after dinner, it was one of my favorite places because I was allowed to just kind of roam free, like a free range cattle, and nobody was really paying attention to us. And so after dinner, we would go up to the cabins and change into our pajamas, come back for the song session at the end of dinner. And so I have lots of really visceral memories of being in my, footy pajamas with my head on the table, kind of dozing off to Debbie Shema, or being asleep and being awoken by, a very rousing floor shaking, not by might, by, hundreds of almost screaming teenagers. So it feels like the sound of my life from the earliest musical memories that I have, really. I mean, one of my sort of stories about Debbie that come up often as I'm doing this work, people ask me how I got into this work, and I kind of talk about it as, sort of like a family business. And for a long time, I had the relationship with it that people have with their family business, right? Like, people who there's 10 doctors in their family, and they're just like, look, I'm not going to be a doctor. I'm my own person. I do other stuff. And like, you fast forward and, they have a lovely practice somewhere. So I think in some ways that's my story, that I kind of resisted this path for a long time because of feeling like it was a path that had been, already cleared by my parents, and I sort of resisted that way for a long time. And I think Debbie was one of the people who pushed me the hardest. For about 10 years after I graduated from college, I was working as a secular folk singer, girl with guitar kind of thing, and touring around and traveling, and I loved that work. And those very first gigs in New York City, as I'm sure many people in the audience can imagine, which clubs would give you your very first gigs in New York City, they were not the nicest places. And it's like the floor is a little sticky, you're paying a cover, 2-drink minimum, the set's like 20 minutes, doesn't make any sense. And Debbie used to come and hear me play in those places. And we had this kind of ongoing joke, like really until she died. She would come to hear me play, and she would, always be surprised that somebody recognized her and knew who she was and think it was so funny and whatever. And then she would come up after and say something nice about the show, and then say, so Elana, this was really great. Listen, when are you going to write something that we can use? Like, how about throwing a bone to the Jews kind of thing? And I really it was like a playful thing we had. I was like, oh, Debbie, I'm never doing that. And she really did that every time she heard me play. And actually, we did not overlap. I wrote my first setting of Jewish music after Debbie had died. And I know it because it was the year that my daughter was born. And so I never really got to share this part of me with her. But I do constantly feel grateful for her kind of being that nudge that she was, and knowing something about me and not giving up just because I was pushing back, and just pushing and nudging, and with a little twinkle and a little laugh. But she really knew something about me that I didn't know.
When I was about 20, I got thrown on a last-minute gig in Boston as a drummer in her band. No rehearsal, just go. And the music director said, look, just watch her right foot, and anytime she puts down her right foot, you hit something. And that was the instruction. And so it's on YouTube. You could see it. Like, it's wild. And it was just a run to the finish, and that was our gig. And then I didn't see her again for 6 or 7 years. And I imagine that she did not have such a positive impression of me. I was not such a sociable kid at that time. And, she did not suffer fools. I think with her, it was fascinating. She was warm and open-hearted to everyone. And as soon as you got in close contact and sort of an intimate, close relationship with her, you would see this sense of humor that was deep and witty, and right. And she would hold that back to the general public quite a bit. So fast forward 6 years later, or 7 years, and I get hired to come teach at Havana Shira in Wisconsin. And I know no one, like literally almost no one. So the faculty is sitting around on Saturday afternoon in the dining hall doing like a Sudash Shlishit kind of, beautiful singing, and I don't really know the protocol of this gathering, so I'm kind of sitting on a bench off to the side, just kind of playing along quietly. I don't know a lot of the songs. I'm just kind of noodling. Debbie walks in. She looks around the room, and everyone is sitting in a circle, and I'm kind of on the side. And she takes out her guitar, and she sits down next to me. And now I'm intimidated. Not because she's Debbie Friedman, because I didn't have that kind of sense of awe simply because I hadn't really been exposed to her. I was just sort of nervous because she was on the faculty, and I didn't know if I was going to get a talking to. But I'm just noodling and playing over changes, and suddenly she is noodling and playing over changes. And we sat there for about 30 minutes. We said nothing, but we had an incredible conversation. And she showed me a respect as a human being and a willingness to not only say, welcome to our little club, but to be vulnerable with me, I think as far as a musician, in one of the most vulnerable of ways. She was not a world-class guitar player, but what she was a world-class musician.
Josh, we're with you, so let's start with you. Is there a little something, either of Debbie's or of your own, that you feel like this is Debbie's influence?
Sure. She really had a message beneath everything, like this very simple kind of message. And I heard it as, whatever joy a person is capable of enjoying and experiencing in their life, that is only possible because they can experience a converse amount of joy. Of pain. That your ability to experience one emotion is dependent on your ability to experience the other. And you can live a flatline life and know no joy and no pain, but that is not a life that is lived. So with our great joy comes our great pain, and all of our mourning someday will turn to dancing. Oh God, my God, forever I will thank you. Oh God, my God, forever I will thank you. Oh dear God. My morning into dancing, so that my soul might sing to you. So let my soul sing to you, and it not be still. Turn my morning into dancing, so that my soul might sing to you. So let my soul sing to you, and it not be still. Oh God, my God, forever I will thank you. Oh God, my God, forever I will thank you. Oh dear God. I just feel like that sums her up to me in such a way. This is a woman who did not have an easy journey. This was a rough journey filled with moguls and challenges. And through it all, the thing we remember about her, when you talk to anyone who met her, is that it wasn't that she hid that pain. It wasn't that she pretended it wasn't there. But she overcame it with joy in every interaction, in every chance she had to have even the slightest effect on someone's life. She took it.
This is Debbie's setting of Shema Kolenu, asking God to hear our voices. And for me, there's something in here. It's reflected in what Josh was saying. Something of the deep, the crying out, the pain that comes from that crying out, and then this unbridled joy in the closing section, the wordless section, and the way that the two things fit together feels like so quintessentially a Debbie, and is so inspiring to me to try to capture both of those in one piece. Shema Kolenu Adonai
This was the piece that I was speaking about earlier. I'll tell you. You are the one, for this I pray, that I may have the strength to be alone, to see the world, to stand among the trees and all the living things, that I may stand alone and offer prayers and talk to you. You are the one to whom I do belong. And I'll sing my soul, I'll sing my soul to you. And give you all that's in my heart. And so this one song that connected us so deeply, that connected her to our people so deeply on such another level. Truly, it's anthemic in my life. I sing it to myself all the time, you know. And truly, you know, I sang this piece at her funeral, and it really, the circle of that song is unending. And I love her for what she wrote and how she allowed me to write my life. I had it easy. I had it easy because she had the arrows in her back.
Per, bring us home.
So what blows me away about this, you guys, is that it's important that the audience know we did not share what songs we were going to sing today. And we all picked a different song, and we all picked them for the same reason. So the piece I'm going to play, it's quite short. I picked because it talks about the gifts and the burdens that are endemic in our lives. And one of the things that Debbie and I shared was that we both lived with chronic illness. And it was a bond between us, as it was between Debbie and many people who experienced illness. And this piece, I think, is genius because and I play it for myself a lot to remind myself that the circle around me is sacred if I choose to see it as sacred. The time is now. We've gathered round. So bring all your gifts and bring all your burdens with you. No need to hide. Arms open wide. We gather as one to make a makom kadosh. We come to tell, we come to hear, we come to teach, to learn, we come to grow, and so we say, listen carefully. The time is now. Sing to the one. God's presence is here. Shechina, you will dwell among us. We'll make this space a holy place. So separate, so whole. Rejoice every soul who enters here. I miss you, Debbie.
I believe it was Julie who said, mentioned the notion of elevating, music elevating. And so many musicians in the Jewish music world have music that elevates us. Certainly Debbie is at the front of that line, and the same is true for the four of you. As her proteges, for want of a better term, she has passed the baton, and you have run with the baton and continue to run with it beautifully.
Oh, say shalom, be Roman. Oh, say shalom, be Roman. Uyase, uyase, uyase shalom, uyase, uyase. Uyase shalom, uyase, uyase, uyase shalom. Alleluia. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom. Be shalom, be Roman. Uyase, uyase, uyase shalom. Uyase, uyase, uyase shalom. Uyase, uyase, uyase shalom. Alleluia. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen, and let us sing
God, give thanks to God with a song. Oh, sing praises unto the one above. Let us rejoice, all ye righteous, and cry out to the Lord. With joy sing out from your heart. Oh, sing praises to God. Bless God's name. Oh, sing unto our God a song of praise. Sing praises to the one. Sing unto God. Bless God's name. Oh, sing unto our God a song of praise. Sing praises to the one. Sing unto God. You sing with us. Sing unto God, sing a new song. Oh, sing praises to God. Give thanks to God with a song. Oh, sing praises unto the one above. Let us rejoice, all ye righteous, and cry out to our God. With joy sing out from your hearts. Oh, sing praises to God. Bless God's name. Oh, sing out to our God a song of praise. Sing praises to the one. Sing on to God. God's name. Oh, sing unto our God a song of praise. Sing praises to the one. Sing unto God. Sing unto God, sing a new song, oh sing. Sing unto God, sing a new song, oh sing. Sing unto God, sing a new song unto God. Sing a new song to God. Sing a new song to God.
אתה אחד ואין שני, ואליך תפילתי לחוות לעד, לבלוב פרחים, לחוש בטבע שסביבי. לו רק תדע נפשי, לו רק יוכל ליבי ליהנות מכל הטוב שבחלקי, כי אז תגיד נפשי, השמיע שיר ליבי. לכבודך שלך תמיד אני. דידי מולות הבא שוב מנסילויה סמה סטויה
water, lift my hands to you in prayer, and grant me strength, and grant me strength to stand alone. You are the one to whom I do belong, and I'll sing my soul to you, and give you all that's in my heart. You are the one.
For this I pray,
and I'll sing my soul to
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed today's program. Debbie Friedman, The Proteges. Her beautiful, eclectic Jewish music is just lovely to listen to. And throughout the summer, you'll hear more on-demand programming from the Jewish Culture and Holocaust Remembrance 10-7 communities and the One Revolution. We look forward to having you join us for each and every one of our programs this summer. Bye now.
Thank you for watching us. Thank you for joining us virtually. And we spoke a little bit about the journey of the life of Debbie. And each of us, we have our journeys. And we say, Hazorim bedim'ah, berina yikzoru. Those who sow in tears will reap in joy. Those who sow in tears will reap in joy, will reap in joy. Those who sow in tears will reap in joy. Those who sow in tears will reap in joy, will reap in joy. Those who sow in tears will reap in joy.
it's the song of the dreamer. From the dark place it grows, like a flower in the desert, the oasis of our souls. Come back where we belong. You who hear our longing sighs, our mouths, our lips are filled with song. You can see our tears.